One. Hi, I'm Dave. This is for Rock Radio UK. I'm here at Swansea with Black Smoke Tigger. Hello, John.
Hello, how's it going?
Not so bad, mate. How are you?
Yeah, we're great. I mean, this tour so far with Bruce Dickinson has just been incredible. The crowds have been awesome, and first time in Wales for the entire band actually. So we're excited to be here.
Awesome. I mean, I don't really know much about you, so please just explain Black Smoke Tigger to us.
Well, Black Smoke Tigger, we're a hard rock band from New Zealand. We all come from a small town in Hawke's Bay, which is east coast of the North Island. We released our debut EP, Set It Off. We recorded with producer Michael Wagner in Nashville in 2019, and then we're just getting ready to release our debut full-length album on July 19th.
Excellent. So you've been here before, obviously not in Wales, but how long's it been?
Well, actually in UK, this is the first UK shows because we had so much stuff lined up. Of course, COVID kind of closed the whole world down, kind of put us in a weird situation. However, it ended up being one of the best things it possibly could for us, making, lemonade out of lemons kind of thing, because it just meant that we just had to work on the songs that we've got on this upcoming album. And then so, now this album that we've got coming out, we've been, releasing the singles, is something we're really excited about. We just can't wait for the world to hear it.
Excellent. So you must have been going, what, about 5, 6, 7 years, something like that?
Yeah, it's literally like start of 2019 we kicked into it.
Brilliant. So describe your sound. Now, you said hard rock. I mean, I heard a little bit of sound check just there. Yeah, I mean...
Yeah, well, I mean, we got quite, eclectic influences, we all love different bands, but I think that when you put everything into the melting pot, people always say that we've kind of like got a mix of the grunge Seattle bands like Soundgarden, Alice in Chains, and then also like just like a little bit of like the Guns N' Roses and and then that kind of thing. We try to sprinkle in a little bit of contemporary influences and really like the Faith No More-esque like tight rhythm section and just it's kind of obviously it's kind of hard to explain your sound, but I think that for fans of those bands we might be up their alley.
Well, I was listening to the EP on the way in just to keep myself fresh. What you're saying, it's very, very meaty guitars, very chunky riffs, that kind of thing, and vocals are clean, crisp, and whatever. So you just explained your inspirations, obviously. So if you were going to describe the new album, is it like a slightly different direction to the EP, or is it?
Yeah, well, we really feel like, for instance, when we did begin in 2019, we effectively, wrote some songs, we entered into the studio with incomplete songs, and, we finished them there. And we really feel like we're, wearing our influences on our sleeves, so to speak.
Yeah.
And then so for this album, we feel that we've really, come in into our own sound, and the heavier riffs are heavier, the softer parts are softer, and the whole album in and of itself is, even though people don't really listen to whole albums these days, for the people and the fans that want to, we've got it laid out in a way that is going to take the listener on a journey the entire time.
Yeah. So are you signed? Have you got a label, or are you?
We're completely independent. We've had offers, but at this day and age, we've got a great manager in Andy Gold, who's managed Rob Zombie, Pantera, Linkin Park, it's one of those things that we're not completely against a label, but we've been able to do absolutely everything so far just ourselves.
Yeah.
So for someone to come on board, they're going to have a pretty damn good offer.
Yeah, I mean, I'm finding that more and more, because the record labels are only able to offer so much these days.
Well, I mean, you look at, for instance, all the big established acts, they've all, as soon as their contracts are out, they're like, okay, well, we don't need you anymore to lend us the money to lend us money to record it. So it's like, well, we've already fronted the recording of the album, we already paid for that to be done, and then so we don't want to just be like, hey, here's some free songs, and then so it's kind of like that.
Okay, so how did you land this tour then, Bruce?
Well, as I mentioned, we got great manager Andy Gold, and also K2 Agency is our booking agent over here. Same booking agent is obviously Bruce Dickinson, Iron Maiden, Metallica, and then so they just called up and said, hey, we got some shows. How do you feel about touring with Bruce Dickinson? And of course, the answer was Fuck yes.
Didn't take too much thinking about that, really.
No, not really.
He's been good to you then over the last few weeks and days.
Yeah, it's been awesome. I mean, you know, just be able to listen to the band perform every single night. They sound incredible. Obviously, fresh off the South American tour.
Yeah.
And you know what more needs to be said apart from the fact that you get to listen to one of rock's true legends every single night is just an awesome experience.
Has it been a teaching experience as well?
Yeah, well, I mean, it is because, you know, for instance, we're in many ways, you know, but like, for instance, we're from New Zealand. You know, New Zealand, you can drive around. When we're touring Australia, the distances are so long, so you've got to be up so early and, like, you know, be flying and you know, you've got to deal with airports every single day. And then so it's actually a much nicer experience touring around the UK, even though we're kind of zigzagging all over the place, because we can just sort of relax and, you know, just jump in the van and then we kind of arrive, you know. And then so, you know, like it's obviously this is, you know, like sort of in the big leagues kind of thing. And then so, you know, we're obviously up and coming, so it's always nice just to see the ways that, you know, different bands are working. You know, we literally last month we're touring with Filter across New Zealand, Australia, and then, you know, straight to this. It's you know, it's just awesome, you know, hanging with the crew and, you know, just, you know, everybody, you learn little tricks from everybody. Even like, you know, the guitar tech was like, here's my patented thing, don't tell anybody about this is how this works, you know. And it's like, okay, this is good, you know.
Yeah. Okay. One of my DJs on the radio station is from New Zealand. Is it Independent Metal Month in New Zealand now?
Oh, I wouldn't even know about that.
It might be something he's actually created, but
well, there is New Zealand Music Month, and then so you know, like, yeah, well, I guess that's what he's talking about, because May, New Zealand Music Month, just everybody for some reason just starts wearing New Zealand music T-shirts. The radio stations start playing more and more Kiwi music, and you know, and then everyone sort of seems to wait until May to release tracks as well.
Okay. So there's quite a big scene in New Zealand as well, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it is interesting because, of course, you know, we are so far away from everywhere else in the world, and you know, the population of New Zealand is like 4.5-5 million, and so it's like, you know, there are single cities that are far more than that, you know.
Yeah.
And then so it's one of those things that we get, you know, there are small pockets of, you know, bands in every single centre, and then you got, you know, for instance, some of the bigger, you know, sort of previous exports, say like Shihad, which are, you know, obviously quite big, and then you've got you know, the more current, you know, bigger acts in New Zealand like Devil's Skin and Alien Weaponry, which I'm sure you're familiar with.
Yeah.
And then so it's, you know, it's really cool because, of course, like anything, when you come from a small country and, you know, you meet people, you end up just having that innate knowing and sort of, you know, that connection of like, you know, high five, yeah, cool, we're doing well. Of course, you know, another band that we've toured with, Like a Storm, originally from New Zealand, and now, you know, they've gone and they're based mostly in the US now, and that, you know, so just, yeah, it's really cool to have that Kiwi connection with other bands.
Yeah. Do you think you'll move base to the States for just opportunity?
Well, you know, at this stage, I just don't think it's necessary for us because, you know, and it's like we can be anywhere in the world, you know, in 24 hours, you know, and then so, you know, a long time ago I was considering moving to the States for, you know, kind of exactly that, because, you know, I was going over there all the time, and then it was like, wait a minute, I still have to fly around. Why not just live in the home country that I love to live? And, you know, like, everyone's based there. We've got family there.
Yeah.
You know, it just makes sense for us to be able to go and, you know, do these tours and, you know, go and have the big city experiences, and then be able to go back to quiet Hawke's Bay, you know, just down by the river and have the peace and calm. And then it's kind of good because you got that balance. And then when you're sick of this one, you get this one. And when you're sick of this one, you get this one.
Okay, right. So I won't hold you up very much longer because you've got a show to do in.
Not too far away.
Not too long. So where can people check you out?
Well, I mean, we're across all you know, major social media platforms. So whatever you use, chances are we're there. And obviously, you know, the one thing I'd recommend is obviously checking us out on, you know, your streaming platform like Spotify. And you know, we've done some pretty extreme music videos, like recording an entire music, or half of it anyway, completely underwater. Where we trained to hold our breath for minutes at a time, and then we also did one for this album called The Way Down. It's out now. It's the first single. We recorded it on the top of the tallest building in the Southern Hemisphere, and for some reason they let me jump off while holding my guitar for the guitar solo. So definitely check that out.
You're an adrenaline junkie, aren't you?
Well, I just come up with these stupid ideas and people let me do them. So,
I assume there was a rope attached or something.
there was.
Safety harness.
There was. And it got edited out for the final video. But yeah, the first time that they actually, because I had to do it like 2 times. The first time I jumped down, I had to run straight back in and do it again. And the first time they did it, we're looking at the raw footage, they hung me out off the edge for 2 minutes because there was a problem with one of the cameras down the bottom. And they didn't tell me this. And so I'm just like, yeah, and my shoes were like about to slip off. And I slip off, I'm going to ruin this shot. So I'm getting cramp in my legs. I'm just like, shit, just let me go. And they're all right, you're going to count down from 10. I'm like, 10, come on, just go 3, 2, 1, go. So it was more of a relief when they let me go, you know. And I'm literally trying to, you know, actually play note for note the guitar solo because I was like, I want this to be legit, you know. So it was good fun.
Brilliant. Thank you for your time.
Hey, my pleasure.
It's been an
Appreciate
absolute pleasure.
Cheers.